Yo, what's going on, boys? It's your boy Wisdom B. We're here playing some For Honor to leave some formalities out of the way. How are you guys doing today? Leave in the comments below, and if you could leave a thumbs up on this video and subscribe, and it would be greatly appreciated. So let's start the video off, right? So what we're talking about this video, we're gonna be talking a little bit about customization in this game, and just generally my impressions on the game. Talked about the bad, and I think it's good to bring up the bad, but let's switch it around, put it in gears, and put it into the get-go. What's so good about this game? So, for starters, high skill cap, love it. I freaking love it. Now, I did say in my last video, if you guys did watch it. If you did not, my last video is on will the game die? Okay, it's very blunt. That video is very blunt. It's a little harsh, a little bit. So prepare yourselves. Don't think I'm mad at you guys, but I'm expressing myself and just throwing my emotions, expressions out, and let you guys know what's the real. So I did say that there is a lot of skill in this game, right? The only thing is that the skill kind of fades away when you get into Dominion matches or in any game mode, elimination, skirmish, or Dominion. Any game mode that those three game modes, I believe, is the only three that includes gear stats. And so, what's so wrong with gear stats, man? So, well, let's explain about. Let's talk about it, right? So, gear stats affects your damage, defense. Primarily, we're just gonna talk about those, right? Those main things is what destroys and wrecks, depending on what level you are and what your opponent level is. If he's a higher level, most likely the skill would not be there because he has more defense or a lot of attack that you just cannot take. And so that's that, right? So let's just leave that alone and let's talk about 1v1s and 2v2s. I believe, in my opinion, 1v1s are the best experience that you can play in this game. Now, this is primarily for people who are just want to experiencing the actual intimacy of the fighting and how that plays out, and just the intenseness of, you could just almost wreck a person. He has one bar, you're full of health, or maybe you lost a bar of health, and then tides turn, and he gets you down to one bar, and it's down neck to neck, and that intense, feeling of like super competitiveness in this thing of like who's gonna get who's gonna mess up and get an execution, who's gonna mess up and gain the victory for that round. And there's 3 rounds for or 5 in total, but you have to get to 3 rounds, kill your opponent 3 times, and you'll be able to win the match. So I think this is really great for the game, because it really does loan itself to what this game is really all about. And I think this game is really all about one-on-one fights. And this game was not built for 1v4s. As I mean, you could, you know, if you want to know why, watch my last video. I'm not gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about the positives about this game, and it's so awesome. Like this 1v1, like I just started with the Conquer. This is like my 4th match or so into the game. I played Midnight Release, and I was having tons of fun learning out this new character. And learning characters are a lot of fun. They are, because you realize that they're so different from each other, and you have to play it so completely different, and their movesets completely change who they are from each and every character. And I think that's such a fun thing about this game is adjustment. There's huge adjustments between each and every character in this game, and that's so freaking amazing. It's an amazing kind of core concept and design and detail that's added to the game that makes this game so just lovely and awesome. Look at that parry. And when you're able to do things like that, guys, it's so insane when you pull off moves like that or pull off something insane. It's so rewarding in this game. And I gotta say, that's what I love about this game is the one-on-one intimacy of the fight and the savagery and the insane game kills that you wouldn't like. It's insane that when you're neck to neck with each other and you don't know what's gonna happen next, either you mess up or you win, or the other person mess up. So that's my main thing on this game: the core just combos and the 1v1 intimacy. So let's get on to the next thing. What's like the really really awesome thing about it? Customization. Customization in this game, I think, is one of the best selling points of this game, besides the core concept of this game. Because if you heard about this game from the start of it being announced, you would have thought samurais, knights, Vikings. Very plain, very vague. We all thought that there was going to be nowhere near any type of customization that we thought. And for the most part, I'm Prestige 5, still Prestige 5 currently as I'm recording this video. And even on Prestige 5, I thought that I was a Prestige 3, and then when I got to 4, I didn't get anything really new. Probably got one or two new things for each like armor and weapons. But when I got to Prestige 5, as we're recording this video, right before I recorded this video, I played a match. I got 3 or 4 new armor pieces. They don't do anything like, they don't give you more insane stats because heroic gear, any type of heroic gear gives you max stats. But so with it, it gives you these new cosmetic looks and cool graphical visual different type of pieces for armor, weapons, and stuff like that, which is really cool. So I think that for the most part, just looking at from the weapon, depending on the character you're playing, Lawbringer, he has the axe blade, he has the pole arm, and then he has like the top pin where he impales people. Those three are all customizationable, or whatever word. I don't think that's a word, guys. um, and it's insane from putting on stats and changing how it looks to the so when you go to the armor, you're able to actually put on patterns and color shaders and engravings into the actual armor, which is insane. And there's a lot of engravings in this game. I've counted, I believe there's like 17, 18 engravings in the game. That's a lot, and that's something I didn't even know about, and that's really insane to just think about. From color shaders to patterns, stuff like that. There's a lot going for this game in sense of customization, and that's what really could help the game in the long run for longevity, honestly. And that's really, really a huge selling point besides the core gameplay of this game. And I told my friends, the first day I played, and then like uh, a week after release, I was like, dude, there's so much customization in this game that there's no way anybody would have thought there's that much customization in this game. It's so freaking dope. And honestly, like even me, Prestige 5, it's a little boring sometimes, but when you actually fight people who's really skilled and play skillly and not just on revenge defense, it's still there, that sense of skill. And you know I, I did complain in my last video about the matchmaking, but when you go against people your own level, it does really do come down to skill. And unless someone activates revenge, if it's just a one-on-one fight, it really does not come down to skill, because your gear stats are pretty much geared up, and they're all balanced and stuff, kind of depending on where your gear's at. And for me, when I was fighting people my level and stuff, it was actually more of skill back to back to. It was more seemed like it had gear stats didn't affect anything at all, really, besides the revenge. But that's the great thing. Um, Too, as well, is when you are in this higher levels, you do still have the sense of there is a lot more you can learn with your character, even though you may prestige. Like, honestly, I tell my friends, it doesn't take that long to prestige. It doesn't. Um, for me, it takes longer depending on how many games you're winning. If you win games, you get about an average of 6 to a maximum of possibly almost 800 EXP each round. So it just, for me, it really comes down to like why I still play Lawbringer. He's my favorite. He's my main character that I play with, and I feel like even though I'm Prestige 5, there's still so much opportunities for me to play with this character, and it's just awesome. Just still learning some new and different things with Lawbringer that I have not learned in the hours and hours I put into it. So that's a really nice thing. And so leading into the next thing, all right. So we already covered the 1v1 intimate fights and the customization, but let's switch it around and go into the actual longevity of the game. Now, you guys, if you, like I said, I'm gonna repeat this again. If you guys did not watch my last video, go watch it. It talks about a lot of the problems, and it kind of ties in with this video as well. So watch that video first, and then watch this one. But the sense of it really comes down to the sense of longevity. This game has perfect sense of longevity. Now, at the current state and how it's gonna, and how it is now, and if it stays the way it is, it's not gonna survive. I'll let you guys know that right now it's not. But what I will say, if the game does get better and the matchmaking becomes better, it will definitely be one of the longest lasting games out there, and I'm gonna tell you why. Skill. The 1v1 intimate fightings, and then all these points kind of come back together and tie in. All these things really, longevity, skill, 1v1 fights, customization. It's all these things mix into each other. They do. And this is what I love about the game. These are my three favorite things about this game. And it's not a huge point, but I'm gonna say if you play this game with friends, this game playing with friends make it so much more better and so much of a greater game to play. I typically I enjoy 2v2s. I think sometimes a little bit more than 4v4s just because it comes down more to skill because there is no gear stats. But if I'm playing with all my friends and we're having a blast, dude, it's the most fun game that you can play as it currently stands. Besides some of the games that I mentioned in my 2016 game of the year video. Those games are pretty fun as well. But right now, talking about this game, and it's quite fun when you play it with really good friends and you're just having a blast. It's such an amazing game to play. A lot of skill in the sense that it's fun. It makes the game even so much more sweeter and better, guys. So, um, the longevity of the game, customization, skill. It all ties in. All these points ties into why this game is really such a great game at its core, but just ignoring the gear stats and all that in the 4v4, if we just look at 1v1s, 2v2s, customization, and everything else the game has to offer, and I didn't even mention, sorry, this ties into customization. Each character has emotes that you can buy. They have fighting kind of like emotes and taunts that you can have as well. You can buy these kind of like not reputation, but these certain like they're not, I don't know what they're called, but there's specific like paint pattern outfit sets, yeah, outfit sets that you can buy, and then you have your mythic sets that are available for each and every class in this game. And so that, as well as that adds on to the longevity of this game. And if you guys did not know, I did say it in the last video as well. That they did say, the developers say they were going to bring in content for like outfits and weapons and armor. They say they're going to be adding stuff like that as well. So think of it as like Overwatch, where it's a skill cap game. It's a lot of fun. You play with games. If you play a lot with friends, and primarily if you could just look at it, it kind of relates to Overwatch in the core sense of skill. Play with friends. It's a lot of fun. The game's a lot of fun. The Overwatch doesn't have a lot of customization. You guys can argue that for yourself. I don't really believe that. You can argue with the fact that the